Welcome to Around Sam, that show that keeps you updated on up-and-coming events here at Sam Houston State University. And on this episode, we'll be talking about the Spring Break Beach Bash. This and more coming right up. Welcome, Tabitha, to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. And you are coming to us from the Health Center, is that correct?
The Lowman Student Center.
Lowman Student Center, there we go. Sorry for that. But word on the street is that there's a Spring Break Beach Bash. That's something new we've heard this semester. It is a tongue twister. I was struggling to pronounce it earlier. But what exactly is this Spring Break Beach Bash?
Yeah, so this is an activity that we want to do in the LSC yard. It started out as something just simple of we wanted to give away beach towels last year, but we couldn't really tie a program to it. It was after spring break. And so we kind of put a pin in it and said, we'll come back to that next year. And I was talking to my husband about it at home, and he said, oh, what if you do like a beach party? Yeah. And so it just kind of grew from there. I called one of my friends who is in rec sports, Melissa Fadler, told her about the idea. I thought, wouldn't it be cute if we had kiddie pools everywhere, maybe a lifeguard? And then it just exploded. And so we have tons of partners in it. And it takes over the entire yard. We'll have a DJ. I mean, it's huge. Perfect.
And how can the students attend?
Yeah, so it's right in the middle of the LSC yard. So all you have to do is just walk through. We'll have stanchions in line for food and things like that. You'll get a punch card whenever you first come in, and you'll visit all of our sponsors, and you get to punch out the little duckies that are on there.
Nice.
And then you take it to the lifeguard, and they'll actually pick up a duck. And if it's got a number on it, there's a door prize that ties to that. Otherwise, you'll get the beach towel that started it all, right?
Perfect. Yeah, no, I remember when I was a kid going to carnivals, the little duckies.
Yep.
My favorite game ever.
That's exactly where it came from.
Yeah. So what kind of cost does this involve to the student body?
It's 100% free for the students. Just come on through and just have a good time.
Perfect. I know you mentioned there are many sponsors at this program. What all departments put in efforts to put this program in?
Yeah, so we're partnering with the Vice President for Student Affairs. They've graciously sponsored the food. There'll be hot dogs and mocktails, so non-alcoholic cocktails. We have the Lowman Student Center. We have recreational sports. We've got the Office of Health Promotion and Student Legal and Mediation services as well.
Perfect. And besides this amazing Spring Break Beach Bash, what other programs do you guys put on?
Oh, the very next day, we're actually doing our first Battle of the Bands. It's our second time doing it. This is the first round.
Okay.
And so we have 5 bands coming. We'll have 2 different stages. It's going to be standing room only, and we're just going to compete. And then there will be at least one band will be eliminated from this. So that way there'll be a finale in April.
Perfect. And then if time allows after the show, we'll talk more about Battle of the Bands. That's something interesting to talk about. And if people want to be more involved on campus, how can they join the organization or work side by side with the LSC?
Yeah, so we do a couple of things. So we are on social media. So our handle is SHSU LSC for all platforms. We also take conversations whenever we're on the streets. I say on the streets, when we're in the yard, when we're out in the building. We see other student orgs doing things, and so we'll approach them as well. We've had other orgs approach us. Specifically in the Cat Club, we've partnered up with the billiards team. We've partnered up with esports. We've done a lot of things with organizations, and we're still looking to grow that. So, we just recently brought in Step Africa for a performance with DLC, the Diversity Leadership Conference, and we'd love to maybe take that a step further with like the Divine Nine, or maybe see if we can do something else like that too with our students.
Perfect. And then you mentioned earlier there were plenty of activities to do. I know you mentioned like kiddie pool there as well.
Yes.
What other activities can we expect at the Beach Bash?
So we'll have giveaways. So there's the beach towels, there's sunglasses, there's going to be large prizes. We're going to bring some Adirondack chairs so you kind of sit really low so you can put your feet in the kiddie pool. If you don't want to actually get fully wet, you can kind of just do that too. I think Rec Sports is also bringing cornhole. They're bringing ring toss, a couple other things.
Perfect. And I know we mentioned prizes. What kind of prizes can we expect?
Oh, right now we currently have Visa gift cards. We've got a Magellan cooler. We've got Bluetooth speakers. And then Amazon Prime is actually going to be donating some things and tabling there as well.
Perfect. And what kind of prizes can we expect from other events possibly?
Oh, boy. So for the Battle of the Bands specifically, we actually do have a cash prize for that one.
Wow.
I think first place is like $2,000. Second place is maybe around $1,000. I'm probably off by a couple bucks. And then there's a fan favorite. I think we give like $500 for that one too. So we sometimes do cash prizes. Sometimes we'll do just giveaways in terms of promotional items. And then I know recently this past semester we did Cow Bingo, and you got to win a $20 Visa gift card for that one.
Perfect. And then you mentioned at the Beach Bash, everyone's favorite, food. What kind of food can we expect there?
Hot dogs and mocktails. Right now we're still kind of tinkering with Aramark catering to decide if it's going to be more of like a pina colada without alcohol, if it's going to be a margarita based kind of thing, but it'll all be non-alcoholic.
Perfect. And I know you mentioned this started out of the idea of a beach towel. Why that beach towel?
I'm not really sure. My director actually wanted a beach towel, and so that's just kind of where it came from. He was like, I think we should do a beach towel. I was like, well, what are we going to tie it to? Well, we couldn't quite nail down how to do it last year, so we decided, hey, let's put a pin in it, and we'll execute that next year.
Perfect. And then this whole event started just from a beach towel. Do you guys expect it to maybe have a second one next year, next spring break?
Oh, absolutely. I think we could do this every year. It'd be fun.
Perfect. And then have you, I know this is the first one, but what do you expect the attendance is going to be like on Tuesday?
Oh, typically whenever we do something out in the yard and there's a giveaway attached to it, we typically see over 600 students come through. So I imagine if there are 5 departments trying to give something away, there's going to be definitely over 600.
So this being maybe like a spring break, maybe water obviously involved, what do you recommend students to come and wear?
So if it doesn't rain, which so far it will not rain as of today, I would say flip-flops, I would say your swim gear, if you want to wear just shorts, whatever you're comfortable in. It might be a little cold, but then you have the towel to dry off with.
Oh, perfect. And then can you go into more specifics? I know you mentioned a kiddie pool. What else are you going to have obstacle-wise, water-related?
It'll be just the kiddie pools. We'll have some chairs around the space. And then, like I said, Rec Sports will bring out, they're also bringing out, I think it's their tension rope so that we can kind of walk across that. And then just some activities that intramurals will also bring out too.
Perfect. And why the big $1 million question? Why should students attend this event?
Because it's fun and it's free and there's food. And I think that it's going to be a good time. I think even just with their DJ and live music, it's always a good hit.
Perfect. And I'm sure it takes a lot of time and effort to organize this kind of events. Can you tell us more about the behind the scenes of trying to get all of this pushed out, from promoting to getting the kiddie pools and all that?
So it starts with the design for that beach towel and finding that to give us enough lead time. So I think we started looking in January for which towel we'd pick. I mean, it's really that serious on our end. We got samples and we felt them all and we're like, which one do we like better? Which one's softer? Which one's bigger? Really kind of put a little bit of luxury into it, just a little bit. And then from there, it was getting that designed out. And then once we got that figured out, like I said, I thought it would be a lot smaller of a program. And then when I called my friend and it was just like, this thing took legs and we got all those departments involved. Rec Sports graciously designed all of our graphics for it. And so from there, we were just meeting probably the past 2 or 3 weeks. We've been meeting probably once a week just to kind of touch base or emailing to touch base on the program and then making sure we got all our ducks in a row.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so with the design of the blanket itself, what design is on there?
Ooh, okay, so yes, so this is really cool. So it's an orange towel, it's Sam Houston orange, and then it's sort of a two-tone, so it's an orange on orange, and it's got the Your Living Room on Campus with a big couch and the stripes, and then it'll have our Loman Student Center logo on it as well.
Nice, and fabric-wise, soft or?
Pretty soft. I believe it's 100% cotton. Nice. We did good.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So speaking of Battle of the Bands, how did that program in specific go about last year? I know you guys had it previous semesters.
So last year was our first time ever doing it. It was kind of in the midst of still mask wearing and social distancing. So we actually did the first round streaming. We did that in the Cat Club. And the really cool part about that was the logistics behind the scenes for that one. So we have 3 bands that are built. They all have their drum sets. And so we actually had to sort of write the script to cut away a little bit, and kind of insert some filler, things like that, get some judge feedback. But we actually built the drum sets on 3 different platforms, and we filmed it in the Cat Club, so that way we could just slide the drum sets around. It was really, really interesting. And so we did that, and then come the finale, we kind of did the same thing, but in the Orange Ballroom, so we could fit a lot more people. We social distance, and then we had basically 3 platforms built on the stage, and we just sort of shuffled them around as we were transitioning between each one. This year's going to be a little different. We're going to have 2 stages built, so we'll have that kind of going dark on one and the other while we're transitioning. And then it'll be standing room only, so it gives you that like concert vibe. It really feels like you're going to be at a concert for this one.
And what judges can we expect, if you know, for this one?
Yes, we actually do. So this year we have James Van Rokel. He's our associate director for the Loman Student Center. He also used to be in a band, so he's got that musical background. We have Melissa Fadler from Rec Sports. She actually also has that musical background. And then we pulled someone from athletics just to kind of give a different perspective from student affairs. And her name is Heather Self.
Perfect. And with the LSC, what other events can we expect going on through the rest of the semester now that we're kind of that halfway point?
We got a lot going on. I feel like there's literally something every day, whether it's kind of a little bit passive. For example, we do board games in the Cat Club on Wednesdays. We have trivia on Mondays in the tavern. We have, for this month specifically, we've partnered up with the billiards team, actually today, to do billiards with the billiards team. And then we also have a bowling tournament today as well in the Cat Club. We do video game tournaments. We do quite a bit. A lot of it does happen in the Cat Club, but then we do sort of venture out sometimes. For example, like I think it was this past weekend, we partnered with DLC and we did Step Africa. So there's a couple things that we can do all throughout the year.
Perfect. And then Saturday at SAM is also this Saturday.
Yes.
How does the LSC contribute to this Saturday at SAM, or what are you guys going to do for Saturday at SAM?
Yeah, so we typically we support the program. So they do use our facility. So we'll be open early. We'll try and open up some of our spaces as well. So for example, the Cat Club may not be open for services, but we can at least have folks come through, do a tour, check out the bowling lanes. They always get excited about that when they see this paw prints going.
Awesome. Yeah. Paw prints are amazing all over campus. And with this going forward, speaking of paw prints going forward, what can you expect maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the road with LSC? Any expansions, something new?
Well, so we just recently finished the renovation, which matches the expansion. I think if we did anything, we would keep upgrading technology. I think that's always a fun thing. And then programming. I think that's something that we really want to keep highlighting and partnering with other folks on campus and just keep growing that and doing bigger and better things, bringing things to campus that students don't normally see. I think the traditions are beautiful that we do here, but it's always nice to say, what else can we do? What haven't we seen? And really elevate that.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Tabitha, for coming on the show with us today. Is there something you haven't touched on yet that you'd like to speak about?
Sure. So something that Program Council actually hosts is called Takeover. They do one in the fall and spring.
Yes.
They do it inside of the Lowman Student Center. So we do partner with them as well. So this year, and I think it's April 20th, there will be a takeover as well for that. So we'll take over the expansion side of the Lowman Student Center, which would be the ballroom, all the surrounding areas. Cat Club will be free play during that program. And it's a really neat theme this year of more like LED neon lights.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
So not too far, about a month and a half-ish, so not too bad. Well, again, thank you, Tabitha, for coming on the show with us today. And we do have a couple more events coming up for you guys as the semester or as March rolls around. We have Spring Break Beach Bash will be on Tuesday, March 8th at the LSC Yard at noon. And some other events to keep an eye out on are on March 8th at 6 p.m. Stop by the Cat Club for some karaoke. We all love some karaoke, don't we? And then on March 10th, you can stop by the Health Center Health Hut from 11 to 12:30 on the yard as well to discuss safe sex. And then on March 12th, kick off intramural March Madness Bracket Challenge. Make a team and sign up at the Rec Center by March 15th to complete. And that'll be it for our episode today. I am your host for Around Sam. We'll see you here next week.